Hey there, I'm Julie, Fei-Fan Balzer, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about myartpractice.com. So, this is an online community and classroom that I've designed to really help you with your art practice. So, first, let's talk about what an art practice even is. So, basically, it's a structured and intentional approach to creating art. And it's not just about the actual act of creating art, right? It's also about all the other things that go along with it. So, to use a metaphor, just as anyone can go for a run, anyone can make art. But if you know a little bit about running, right, you might be able to avoid an injury. And sometimes you might like to go running with friends because it can be very motivating and it makes it a lot more fun. And running can be a way of life, even if you're not like a professional runner, right? And so art is exactly the same way, right? And whether you're a hobbyist or a pro, an art practice is a way to train smarter, faster, and more completely. So, again, My Art Practice is an online community and education platform designed to help you create, hone, and maintain your own personalized art practice. That's really important because it's not a one size fits all solution. So, there are three key concepts that I've baked into the classroom. So, the first one is engagement, right? And engagement through things like message boards. There's live chat, there's private messaging, there's live workshops and events held on Zoom. There's lots and lots of opportunities for community. I think this is key to learning, to enjoyment, to lifestyle. The second thing, obviously, like I just said, is learning. You want to learn. So there are all types of lessons for all types of learners. There are interactive lessons, there are video tutorials, there are written lessons, there are process videos, there's tons of art history, and there is a very expansive core curriculum which keeps getting added to that really is all about an art practice and how to create a thriving art practice for yourself. Finally, I think the goal for everyone is obviously growth. No one wants to stay the same. Everyone wants to grow, evolve, become everything that they're meant to be. And so I very specifically have designed lots of exercises and ideas. There's hands-on practice, there's group coaching twice every cycle. You'll work on professional skills. So how to present your work, how to talk about your work, all that kind of stuff. And there are regular assessments done through a very careful set of sort of critiquing strategies that I set up and teach you how to do. So, the My Art Practice membership consists of five spaces or modes or however you want to think about it, capsules. So, the first one is right here. And it's called the hub. And the hub is where all the kind of, I think, conversation really happens. There's an entire section of FAQs where you can ask questions and where also you'll find tutorial videos on how to use the site and how that explains everything that you can find there. Community chat is a big message board to talk about all things art. Then every single cycle, there's a theme and a challenge. So there is an article about the theme that explains it. And then there's a challenge that's issued. And anybody who enters the challenge is automatically entered to win. There is one winner of a $75 gift certificate to Dick Blick for a little bit of a shopping spree. So Crick Club is a place where you can share your work. And again, in a controlled environment, get really useful feedback from people who are trained in giving feedback, from the community. So it's not just random people saying things, but it's actually useful and pushing you towards your goals. The contemporary art discourse section is exactly what it sounds like. We discuss all things that are happening in the contemporary art scene. And I think it's really important to keep abreast of what the trends are, what's going on in the galleries, changes that are coming, all that kind of stuff. Guest artists. So every cycle, there is a fantastic artist who comes to share something about their art practice, give you a lesson, give you a little bit of information about themselves. Then finally in this section is the accountability groups. And this is the chance to have a buddy or a couple who can help you work through the incredible amount of information that's at My Art Practice. The second section is the core curriculum. Now, I have spent 5 months writing this core curriculum. And as you can see, I managed to cram in just a ton of different stuff. So I have done a podcast all about each of these sections. So I'm not going to belabor it too much, but I am going to tell you that every single one of these letters, P for passion and purpose, R for research and exploration, and so on, contains somewhere between like 4 to 10 different units all about how those things apply to your art practice. There are worksheets, there are videos, there's all sorts of activities for you to do so that you can develop a personalized art practice. Events. So there are live events every single cycle. There's a Q&A live stream. There are two cohorts of group coaching. There is a book club. And then asset review is where we'll look at your Instagram, your website, your artist statement, your photos, whatever it is. And I'll try to give you a helping hand, sort of reviewing how you're doing and giving you some tips on how it could be better. Next is process. I love process. And all of this stuff in this section is really about getting into the nitty gritty of the process. So studio vlogs are a backstage look at whatever I'm working on. It could be a couple days in the studio. It could be a particular project following it over months. Whatever it is, that's what you're going to find in studio vlogs. The real-time process videos are exactly what they sound like, which is instead of a sped up version where you can't really see what's happening, this is the real-time decision making. This is the real version of how long things are taking. And I try to talk in the videos about what I'm thinking about and why I'm making the choices I'm making. Creativity sparks are kind of the opposite in some ways. These are really short videos, and these are meant to inspire you. They're short tutorials that give you an idea so that you're never without inspiration or something to do. You can just grab anything from the Creative Sparks, library and say, this sounds like a really fun idea that I'd like to try today. YouTube Inspo, this is a curated feed of YouTube videos that I found interesting, and I thought that you might find them interesting and useful too. The Studio Notebook. This is the heart of my art practice, and I think it will probably be the heart of yours, but it's how I keep track of what I'm doing, what I'm interested in, where I'm going. I keep a record of what I've been working on and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And the final section of the My Art Practice membership is Art Foundation. So this is art school. You're going to learn art techniques. This is art materials. You're going to learn the elements and principles of art. You're going to learn all about art movements and concepts. You're going to learn all about particular artists through the artist profiles and, of course, professional skills. And most of these professional skills are things that are focused on how to present your work, how to talk about your work, social media, all that kind of stuff. And the most important thing is that this content is updated and added to every Monday and Thursday. So every Monday and Thursday, you get one new piece of content that's every single Monday and Thursday throughout the year. So it's $75 a month, or you get 2 months free and you pay $750 for 1 year. The doors close on Sunday, so don't miss out. They'll reopen in August, and you can get on my mailing list if you want to be alerted when the doors open in August. This is a review that I just got this week from someone who just signed up, and Molly says she just signed up for My Art Practice, and I wanted to tell everyone that there's so much really wonderful content that isn't obvious from the free membership space. The content is robust and definitely justifies the price, in my opinion. Also, Julie is such a wonderful teacher. I know I'm going to learn tons. If you've taken a class with her, you know that Julie is a teacher who equips her students to grab hold of and develop our own unique artistic style, unlike every other online artist who have only taught me how to imitate their art. I'm really excited to get started. And I appreciate that Molly left this comment. And I have to say, I do think that this is my special skill as a teacher, which is I really try to empower students to make their own art and to help them find their way towards making art that they love, not making art that I make, but making art that you love. So please, I hope you'll check out myartpractice.com. We'd love to have you as part of our community.